Hello everyone. So we're here for the deck video. As you've seen with those games, Invisimon kind of went to time, but it was still a fun game. It was a fun deck. There is things I might actually change in this, but this is the list that we went for anyway in those games. So starting with the eggs, we're just using the Invisimon because whenever you swing into a security that is flipped up, you gain jamming. Great. It's weird to see like a non-blue line. I know it's black and blue, but with jamming, outside of like Imperial, it's weird. Then on to Roques. We're running 4 copies of the new BT20 Espimons. I like the just all-turn DP buff inheritable and the reduced distribution cost for machine or sideboard trait, making your champions like a cost of 1 to help like speed up into the line whenever it's out and about is fantabulous. And I did decide to go and run the ROB1 SB1 just with the DP inheritable, trying to be defensive and aggressive at the same time. We didn't mind what our DP was on our turn because we did have the jamming egg, which was great, but to be on the defensive side, I thought this was the better option to have plus 2k as an inheritable on the opponent's turn, because with that we ran 4 copies of Solarmon from BT20 just as an additional blocker for like the help with the defense strategy of we don't mind if this dies because the start of main phase we're going to tuck it underneath with the alpha, but we'll get to that but in a minute. But the reboot inheritable was great. You know, like, oh, I hit Oblivi that hides in my security at the end. We'll get into that whenever we actually get there. Then on the Art Champions, we're running the 4 copies of the Hubber SP from BT20. Great, same again, great inheritable just for a DP buff. All turns. But when Digivolving, flip your opponent's top face down security face up. You're constantly flipping up. You're giving yourself the advantage to know what's in security. And it's like, it's very, very high. But I've got jamming. Because I chip into it. And then end of attack, draw 1, helps with the draw power. It's just amazing. And then if we're going up against something that we can't get rid of, I thought these blip ones were brilliant because either we can hard play them and just be like on play, or if we had the Digivolve in it, when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack. You'll see in one of the games against Justimon, we kind of forgot this effect because it was late. It was like 3 AM for me. So I was just like, I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. And same again, the reboot inheritable, so it's something else that is a target to tuck under. And then sometimes we couldn't get like a blocker itself as a level 6, so I went for this play, and it's nothing to do with the main inheritable. Or the main effect. The inheritable blocker is great, but the fact that it is a sideboard with a play cost 4, so Alta can still target this from hand or trash and tuck it under, so if I'm in a pickle and need to have that blocker, it's there. Yeah, on their level 5s. Because it is an Invisimon deck, we are running the full playset of the Oblivion one. Uh, when digivolving, put your opponent's top face down security face up, and then your turn. When this attacks into a face up security, put it to the bottom of your security face up. Then end of opponent's turn. Spit it back out on the board. Have constantly giving yourself a target to digivolve in the level 6 if necessary. The inheritable is fantastic. I will be adding a couple of these into my Machine Germon deck, so don't need to worry about attacking unsuspected Digimon with piercing. It's like, I'm going to swing and you can't block. It can't be can't target, can't change, so you can't block, you can't redirect, you can't suspend the tamer up against the mirror match. Is like, this literally says, I'm going to do as I please, and your counter timing's the only thing that's going to kill me. Which, to be funny, it is hilarious. Then our next two is going to be Bulb Month, and the reason why I ran only two of these is because yes, the blocker and the main inherit, the main effect on the opponent's turn, if this would leave the battle area. So, and because it doesn't specify just in battle, so it can either die in battle, or it could be bounce back to hand, or deck, or even security. You can spit out level 4 underneath. So if you have this in the Blimpmon underneath, it's like, right, Blimpmon, spit it back out, can't attack, or into a Hover SB or the Mildremons, and be like, I'm ready to go up to level 5 and level 6 again my next turn, if it lives. And then the inheritable, when one of your opponent Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target for this. So we have one that says you can't change attack targets to, yeah, we're gonna just swap it over here. Just, like, it's not hitting security, it's hitting me. Come on, come on, come on, we can do it, we can do it. Kind of like goading an attack and not worrying about it. Then our last ultimate would be actually the Structure Deck Metal Grey. There is for me, there's a very good reason for this. This plus Invisi seems a bit broken, because Invisi, your turn effect, it's an optional thing. So if I have to, my opponent has to face up security, I can swing a security, do the first check, decide not to trigger this, do the second check, and then when the second check is done, then trigger this to place at the top, was the bottom of my security face up. So we're getting 3 checks, then going into this, trigger the reboot with DP buff and everything else. Then this is just sitting at like a 10, 11, 12, 13,000. You're like, depending on the amount of sources you put in, so 8, 9, 10, 11k blocker, 11k blocker for a level 5 is kind of busted. So you're either going to have to force your opponent to build something bigger, or deal with a line, and by that time Invisimon's kind of just coming back out of security anyway, and if this lives and this comes out, then you just do it all over again if you're lucky, and do the 2 checks, then spit them both back into the security. This is why I thought this helped with the aggression, because no matter what, after the first check you're gaining the jamming, then you're doing the second check, and the only thing you have to really worry about is security bombs. But yeah, it's not an Invisimon deck without Invisimon. It's like that kind of defeats the purpose. I think it was in my last game, Invisimon really stuck to its name and was invisible, and we couldn't actually freaking get it throughout the game, or throughout the round. On play when Digivolving, de-Digivolve. This is such a thing for dyslexics, or that are gonna love this. We're trying to read it in order, is even better. De-Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. Flip your opponent's top face down security face up. Then delete one of their Digimon with one or fewer Digivolution cards. Trying to get that in order while you're playing through, it is annoying. And then your turn effect, when you hit a face up security, this may bounce into the security. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to do those two checks, then add it to the top of the bottom of security face up. And then end of opponent's turn, play this card in security without paying the cost. So it's like, oh, well, you can't reduce play cost. Well, we're not reducing play cost, we're playing benefit. The other mega that I'm running, this is something I would love to change to like metal Saildrum on 8s, because it is still a sideboard type. So Alta can get its full effect to stuff more stuff underneath it. But I decided to run the promo Pokemons. Just for multiple reasons. One, it's a blocker in itself. So even if we can't get that blocker inheritable, we can throw DP buff underneath before going into this, knowing that we're going to have reboot, blocker, a lot of DP. The fact that it is still, even if we have to hard play this for 11, we can get rid of a lot of aces that way. But the on play and win Digivolving effect actually synergizes with this deck a lot, because Invisimon de-digivolves and then doing stuff in, where this strips the top two sources, and then anything without a source, you can pick one of your opponent's Digimon if they have multiple ones with no sources, and then delete. And it's like, this kind of works. I don't know why, but in most of my games, I seen two of these quicker than I seen an Invisimon, which I find really, really funny. Then, as you've seen through the games, I did run 2 Gabibon. The reason why I went for the Gabibon was same again, board control plus aggro. We want to not just be able to do fancy things like hiding in the security and getting rid of Digimon. We want to chip away at the security as well. So getting the on play when Digivolving, to return to your opponent's Digimon with many or fewer Digivolution cards. I thought, oh, this would be great as a hand trap. You just place it down, get rid of a couple of small bodies. But when we were doing play testing with this on DCGO, we actually found out with, say, the Pokemon or Invisimon, level 5, level 4, level 3, Rookie, Egg, but Alta's effect before you go into like a level 6 or 7, you've got a good amount of sources. If you're board controlling and then like constantly stacking stuff up underneath, you can get rid of a lot of annoying cards that's, like DNA Hexablade, and just bottom deck it and be like, I have more sources than you. Then I'm going to swing a security, and if I'm lucky, 2 checks with the inheritable, and then because I have Alta in the field, because this doesn't restrict color requirement of a tamer, just if you have a tamer, this may, I was unsuspend this Digimon. So you swing with 2 checks, have like Alta as your memory setter, unsuspend 14, 15, 16, even 17 if you've added in those DP buffs, and then swing again. It helped a lot with the aggression as well as the board control at the same time. There would be another level 7 I would like to add into this. I haven't figured that one out yet. But this one is quite funny. And the fact that both our level 6s are, blue and black, or black and blue, this just, there's always an ace target on this. So it's fine. I think it looks really good. And then this why I say about Metal Saildrum. It's a sideboard, you can still tuck more sources underneath it, but it's also black and blue. So it's still suffering the fish out. Well, as we were talking about Alta there, we do run 3 copies. I like this card I didn't think how broken it was going to be, and then I thought about the train deck that I built just for funds, and I was like, oh my god, this is even worse. So it's great as a memory setter, and then the start of main, you just place a play cost for machine or cyborg from hand or trash underneath one of your Digimon machine or cyborg trait. You're constantly feeding your line with whatever you want. Like, if you decide to like swap the deck out and add the D Digiball, like SOC level 5, to go instead of having like the metal grey one and then tucked underneath it and everything, there's even more sources to go underneath. Then D-Digiball 2, delete something, swing, D-Digiball something else, so it gets rid of an ace mechanic, and then you've got all these inheritables. It's just absolutely great. What I would love to find more space for, and I think taking out like an Alta and one of the level 6s might actually give me the space. Marvin, running this with Alta is really good because if your hand is starting to get too bulky and you want to like keep your hand size low going up against something that like Mirage, I know this is after banless, but you know, Mirage burst mode could still be a thing even if it is hard that you walked into. Excuse me. Trash a card in hand, gain a memory. Then trigger this to place something underneath from trash that you just trashed. And then getting the mind link to a machine, cyborg, or SOC, so even if you don't have the jamming inheritable, or you weren't able to flip anything up, you can actually place this underneath to get blocker and jamming anyway. And it helps with the addition. I really enjoyed it. I wish I seen like one more copy of it in the deck, but it was still fun nonetheless. Under option cards, finals have begun punch. You know, give our Digimon plus 3000, and then if it reaches 16, you gain blocker, reboot, and security attack plus 1. We don't really need to worry about the blocker and reboot because we already have it through the line. And we're not really going to hit that 16k DP threshold until the opponent's turn. So that bit I don't mind. If I'm lucky to get the security attack plus 1, then happy days. Then the security effect just adds it to hand, so you're always keeping yourself right. Our second copies is 2 copies of the Scramble. In fact, that has SBMon in it, it's even perfect. Scramble recently new into the set, so one of your black Digimon made Digivolve into a black Digimon in the hand, which cost by 3, then place this in the battle area, and then while your opponent has a Digimon, you can trigger the delay effect to place a Digimon from trash back to the top of the deck, and if you have no Digimon on the field, you get to play out a Digimon with 2000 or less, so that's basically any rookies. Quite nice. I was actually thinking about changing the Solar Mons and the Higuru's, but that is adding Higuru X antibodies to get more, but I'll figure that out after more playtesting. Actually, I'll give my friend of mine, Hero, the shutter for the Higuru and Higuru X because he showed me his Invisimon deck and it was actually really good. We built this before even sending anyone, we just went, oh, shiny cardboard. Let's build it. Our next option card is Defense Training. Reveal top 2 cards, add 1 black card, so Digimon, Tamer, option, doesn't matter, add it a hand. Delay effect, trash, reduce the English cost by 2. Security, place it in battle area. Nice. I think I might have overjumped the security effect of the Scrambles. Play 1 black Digimon card with 2000 DP or less when you're trash without paying the cost, and then add this card to hand. And then our last 2 cards is just Old Faithful promo memory boosts. you kind of want to make sure they have additional memory if needed. And searching for instead of searching to, or even using the dull colored memory boost, helps you get to that card that you might need more. Yes, it might only pick up a Digimon card, but the majority of our cards are Digimon. And we really want to hunt for Invisimon because most of the time you're not going to see it. After my last game, I kind of thought I might take out 2 trainings and put a full playset of memory boosts, just so I can see, just so I can see the frickin' Invisimon. But yeah, that is my Invisimon deck profile. I hope you like. I know after playing some games, the deck does need tampered with. But anybody that wants to try out and build an Invisimon, this is a deck list that kind of helps set it off, and I hope it helps. But until the next deck list video, or until the next games, I want to say thank you very much for everyone that's been watching these videos and helping support the channel just by watching 5 minutes or the whole video. I do appreciate it, and anybody new that hasn't seen the videos before, please go check some of them out. And if you like what what we're doing here, it might not be fancy, it might be straight to the point, and if that's what you like, then please hit the subscribe button and keep up with everything. But until next time, bye guys.